What is up, guys? Welcome in and welcome to Spa. It is week 12 of the LFM series. We are doing the 25-minute race around Spa Francorchamps. Now, this has been a tough week for me in terms of my ELO rating. A lot of incidents in races that obviously haven't made it onto video. Some my undoing, some just caught up. So we've dropped to iron, and as you'll see, this race is not without its issues as well. Now we start our qualifying as we always do, pushing a little bit too hard too early and just getting 3 off tracks, ruining 3 of our potential qualifying laps, which puts us very much behind the 8 ball here. We are coming into this final run here with 1 minute and 54 seconds left on the clock, so we need to post a time here. I've been doing 2:19s, my quickest around here in the Lamborghini. Switched from the Ferrari this week. Felt like last week of the season, try something a bit different. As you can see, about a number of yellow flags on the way around here, just keeping me a bit cautious, making sure that there's no cars stranded in the middle of the road as it comes through when I spot them on the map. Not really hustling the car. Main emphasis on this lap is just to make sure that we do manage to get round it while posting a time, so we're not starting at the very back of the grid. Coming through the bus stop here, posting a not particularly impressive time of a 2:21.8. So that is going to be good enough to put us 16th on the grid. As you see, we are car 6, so we are meant to be one of the fast people in the lobbies. But let's see how this goes. Spa is always one where a big shunt is never far away. You can never take for granted either how far back you are or how far in front you are. You could just get caught up in the wrong instant at the wrong time. So let's see if we can actually get ourselves a semi-decent result this race. And as we jump on board, we go green. We get a much better start than the cars on our left and the McLaren in front, to the point where we actually have to back out coming down into the bottom of Eau Rouge, just to make sure we don't go into the back of anyone, treating it nice and slowly, nice and carefully, getting through Radion without any instances. Into Lacombe for the first time. We are kind of up the inside of the Ferrari, but not really looking to be too aggressive in these early ones, just trying to get through the first few corners. Looking around the outside of the Ferrari here as he's slow on the apex of No Name coming down towards Pouon. You get up in front of him, go to take our line through Pouon, but he just misses his braking point or something and drives straight to the back of us, spins us round. As you can see here, it's just a light little knock, but because of the angle that we're at and he's at and the speed we're carrying, no way really to hold that. He does wait for us, so obviously wasn't done with any form of malicious intent by the looks of it, and it does give us a couple of flashes after we rejoin the track safely. Even with that instant at the Ferrari, you can see we aren't too far off of the pack ahead of us, especially when people keep making mistakes like this, where the Lamborghini just outbrakes itself into the back of McLaren, sends all of them spinning. We very happily pick up 3 positions from that, and by the end of the next lap we're on the back of the group ahead of us again. Coming through the source, go around the barrier, and there is just a stationary Ferrari, which I was not expecting. The white Ferrari there outbraking itself into the back of McLaren, Lamborghini to the McLaren, Ferrari to the Lamborghini, and me into the back of the Ferrari, and then a merger of kinds with this McLaren that just decides to spin me around as we try and get going again. So, unfortunately, after getting back up to 17th after the first lap, we are back down to 20th, but then back up to 18th as the Lamborghini and McLaren spin out again. So, we'll take a breather after all that very exciting happenings over the first few laps. We are in P18. We are looking to catch the group ahead of us. We are lapping considerably faster, a couple of seconds per lap. Seeing they're doing 22s, 23s, we're doing 20s. Not great time, but enough for us to stay within the chasing pack, looking for more. A little bit of a mistake there going through second part of Stabilo. As you can see, by the end of middle of lap 7, coming through No Name here, we are on the back of the pink Ferrari drove into the back of and the McLaren. So going through Blanchimont, Ferrari with the probable off track there. We give them a little bit of space, but even still they are very slow coming into the bus stop. I have to take a little bit of avoiding action there. Coming through La Source, they get a much better run. We get a free position for a McLaren that's in the barrier on the left hand side. The Ferrari gets Eau Rouge and Radion all wrong, ends up getting a big shunt into the barrier. We are coming through No Name here, and we are once again on the back of this Ferrari who runs a little bit wide going through Pouon. We unfortunately are a bit too far back to capitalise on it, but we do stay very, very close to these here. Again, we are lapping as a group quicker than the next bunch ahead, so if you pay attention to the mini-map you will see us closing them in. Ferrari having a bit of a mistake here coming into P1, gets on the grass just before entry trying to maximise the corner. That puts him all out of shape through P1. We get on the throttle as quickly as possible to get a nice run through here, and we get a free position up to P15, and it's now our turn to put pressure on this McLaren ahead. As you can see, the group getting bigger and bigger in front of us. We have a bad run up the hill here at the end of the Camel Straight with the Ferrari looking, but we just put ourselves semi-defensively to tell him that dive bomb is probably not the greatest of options. But as you can see, by the end of the lap we've put a nice gap between us and him again, and we are right on this chasing group coming into the beginning of lap 11, the last lap of the race. With 1 minute left, we go through La Source. We focus on getting a nice exit coming down here, and by the end of the Camel Straight we are up nearly 0.4 of a second, but we are playing it cautiously, focused on trying to get the best corner exits that we can out of these complexes to stay in contention. As you can see, through Rivage we are up right behind the back of this McLaren. We get on the throttle way in, he does, he gets a bit of oversteer on exit. Have a look up the inside of No Name, but we think better of it, looking to get a good drive down here into Pouan. We dive in, we get on the throttle way earlier than the McLaren does. It must be fuel saving or something, but we just got so much better drive of that. We're up the right hand side, we dive in later on the brakes, keep it on the right, and we get it through nice and clean. As you can see in the second part of Piln, we just get a much better drive out of the corner. We are not alongside, but we are extremely close, and we just send it with respect up the inside there. Later on the brakes we get to the apex. Now with there's 2 traction zones I know I need to nail here to make sure we keep P14. Got it coming out of the Stavolo. We put ourselves in the middle of the track through bus stop behind the back of this Ferrari. There is nothing now the McLaren can do. We are going to come home in P14. If we had another couple of laps it could have been as much as a P11, but we finish P14, which after the races that I've had is a welcome relief. Confirmation here of our 14th place, unfortunately still a little bit of an elo drop, but based on how our first few laps went, salvaging back up from P14 considering we went to P20 twice in the race in the first 3 laps is pretty good for me. I'm happy with how I drove. I was very happy with that move I did in the final lap to make sure we did that cleanly, but aggressively, something I need to work on. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy this video. As you can see, I've tried messing about, playing about with some bits. Let me know what you liked, let me know what you didn't like so I can improve in the future. Obviously likes, comments also great, and if you enjoy what I'm doing here please do subscribe. I'm getting a lot of enjoyment out of doing this. It is a lot of work, but it is the thing I am sort of most looking forward to out of my days and my week is working on these things. So yeah, once again thank you very much for watching guys, and I hope to see you in the next one. Cheers.